The Pig War. A war with pigs. That's crazy. Well, let me explain. Through the use of militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. Most on the 19th century, the United States and Great Britain disagreed over Oregon's territory of the northern boundary. The Act of the Anglo-American Agreement in 1818 allowed citizens from both nations to share the land that was earlier disputed. The British settlement of the San Juan Islands began when the Hudson Bay Company, HBC, set up a salmon curing station in 1852. This was made available by a sheep farm in 1853, which was the same year that America decided to make their claim on the San Juan Islands. By 1859, 14 to 30 American settlers had already begun to take up residence there. The British settlers did not like that because technically they claimed the land before the Americans did. British authorities considered them to be illegal squatters and tried to get them off their proclaimed land as fast as possible. But on this fateful day everything would change for the worst. On June 15, 1859, a pig wandered into a vegetable patch that belonged to an American farmer named Lyman Cutler. However, this wasn't the first time a pig had come into his patch rooting for potatoes. He took it upon himself to unalive the pig to stop animals from eating his vegetables. The pig was owned by a British employee of the HOC named Charles Griffin, who confronted Cutler. Although Cutler offered $10 in compensation for the shooting of the pig, Griffin demanded more money but eventually went to the British authorities, who threatened to take him to jail. In response to the situation, the American military sent 64 troops to the island to defend the American settlers. This led James Douglas, the governor of the Vancouver Islands, to send the British Tribune to the island with a plan to dislodge the American troops along with other groups. Within a month the Americans had gathered more than 400 soldiers, and the British forces in the area gathered groups consisting of over 1,000 men. While the Americans set up plans to use guns to defeat the British had plans to use cannons. When the British Marine Superior Officer Admiral Robert L. Baines arrived in August, he was astonished. He requested to not let the two countries go to war over the killing of a pig. Despite tensions, both American and British officers were on good terms and often attended church services together. When the dispute reached Washington, D.C., the government told Douglas to negotiate with the Americans to put an end to this. In 1871, America and Great Britain agreed on the Treaty of Washington, which would resolve any of the conflict between the two countries.